Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Lena Michelle, the RnBEmpress. Don't mind my hair. I'm about to take my hair loose. but a lot of people have told me that I need to, I guess, tell my story a little bit. I have so much that has went on in my life, from domestic violence to sexual assault, PCOS. I've had a stroke, all in my lifetime, but I'm still able to, speak on, or I'm still able to live my life, I guess you can say. I design candles or make candles, luxury candles. I sing, I perform, I write music. I help design websites with my husband's company. And yeah, um, but just to tell a little bit about my story, I guess you can say, with domestic violence, I don't want to hold you long, but since this is October, I promised I wouldn't cry. I just got finished doing an interview, and we were talking about PCOS. And that's going to be on another thing I talk about. I remember the first time that I got hit. I guess you could say, I'll just say hit, you know. It was with a guy that I thought I loved. I thought that he was my forever everything. This guy, he was cute, y'all. He was cute, you know. And I think he knew that my confidence wasn't there, because I've always been a large woman. I've always wore big girl. I'm not too big, I wear it well. I'm able to move around. Um, but yeah, I've always been overweight. And when I stepped out at certain points, I knew how to dress. I knew how to represent. But then sometimes you would see me and it's like, girl, what you got on? Girl, what you doing? And with this guy, I don't want to say his name, but he knew. I can just tell he knew, that I wasn't too confident in myself. So I met him on a blind date. A friend of mine was going out on a date, and he had his cousin. So she was like, why don't you roll with us, So I said, okay, I'll go. Seeing this guy, when I say he was cute, he reminded me of one of my favorite celebrities. Kind of looked like him a little bit. And I was like, oh, you sure he gonna want to holler at me? You sure he gonna want to talk to me? I think I was 19. I think I was about 18, 19. Might have been 19. And I was like, you sure he gonna want to holler at me? I'm pulling my girl to the side, asking her. She was like, why wouldn't he want to? You cute, you fine. I said, okay. Well, this guy, yeah, he we went to the movies, and I can't remember what movie it was we watched, but he held my hand, he put his arm around me, and he was talking to me. He was telling me the things I like to hear. I was like, okay, At the time, I was also in school. I was in college. And when I say he was built, brother hat, he was nice. He was nice. And I knew that he had Well, as the relationship progressed, because that night, I gave him my phone number, he gave me his. I'm like, okay, we good, we good. But as the relationship progressed, I noticed he had a slick tongue. He had a little attitude problem on him. I'm going too fast. Let me rewind. With our relationship as it progressed, I don't know if you guys remember that website, um, the planet, Black Planet. But I decorated my page and everything, and I had little love songs on there, and I even put his picture on there. And oh, I was so in love, and I was able to let my friends know, oh, I got a boyfriend. I wasn't quite saying it like that, but I was able to represent, I got a boo now. And we were starting to get really serious to the point I would have conversations with his mom, God rest her soul. But yeah, I would have conversations with her. Never met the woman face to face, but yeah. And he didn't have a car, he didn't have a job. Lena Michelle, you are an empress. Why are you with him? Again, my confidence level was way low. Keep in mind, all my friends had had boyfriend, girlfriends, or whatever. I wanted somebody for me. I wouldn't quite say that I was settling, because he probably felt that he was settling with me. But he was that bad boy. He was a bad boy. Like, he's in prison right now. Nothing to do with me, but yeah. And I noticed he would get real jealous. At first, I thought it was cute. He'd get real jealous, and he didn't want me to talk to any of my friends. He just wanted to talk to me. When I would go out with my friends, there was a couple of other males, but we never, we weren't me and my other friends, we were not romantically involved or anything, at the time. So it wasn't anything like where he should feel that he's threatened by another man with me being around another man. But yeah, it would get to the point where we would go out, and a lot of the times he did not go out with us because I didn't have a car at the time, but he would not go out with us because he didn't have the money. I had a little bit of smarts. I mean, I paid for him sometime, but he didn't want to be around my friends either. But when we did go out, sometime I would be the one to pay, or I'd be like, you ain't got no money. I'm not going to pay every time. Okay. My daddy taught me he's supposed to take you out, and then as the relationship progressed, you take him out. But anyway, he would call me off the hook. He knew that on a Friday night, that's where I would be with them, because after I've been to class, I done went to work, spent time with my family. My mom, dad, they knew I was young. I mean, sometime I could have stayed home, but I was young. So they're like, okay, you go ahead, you go hang. And he would call me off the chains, off the hook, just call me. He wants to keep my attention on him. He wants to, keep me, I guess you can say, focused on him and nothing else. And he thought he was supposed to know where I was 24/7. 24/7. To the point when I was sleeping sometime. Okay, I would be at my parents' house, sleep. Here he is calling me. What you doing? What you think I'm doing? I have to be to class in the morning. What do you think? And that's how possessive he started to get. He didn't really want to be around my folks. And I should have caught on back then, but I didn't. He would go to church with me once or twice. He went to church with me. And even then at the church, some of the girls would look at him and like, they'd be like, why is he with her? How she get him? I remember hearing that. How she get him? Like I say, back then I thought he was fine. He was a nice looking brother, but that's neither here nor there. Even at church, when I would get up to go to the bathroom, here he comes to, I guess, basically make sure I'm going to the bathroom or going to the restroom. Any little thing, he wanted to be involved in what I did. To the point when he didn't have a phone, he would use my phone, just didn't know he was calling other girls. And at that time, I had the phone where you got to wait till 9 o'clock or the weekend to get your free minutes. Then I messed around and I was intimate with him. It got even worse. He was even more possessive. But when he would talk to me, for some reason, I'd feel that I'm his therapist. And no, I'm just thinking, oh, he can vent to me. It's okay. And I would feel sorry for him. All the while, he was probably chilling with his girlfriend then. Another girl, rather. So I remember one time I tried to invite him out with my friends and I. I had a family member that would let me use her basement as the hangout. We weren't drinking, we weren't smoking, we weren't doing anything illegal. We were all college folks. The ones that wasn't in college, they were working. Still staying at home with our parents simply because that's the type of group we were. We were young adults, literally. We have responsibilities. We weren't bums or anything. We just like to hang out. We weren't going to the bars. And like I say, we weren't doing anything. We were just friends. We were like a family. Well, it was my friend's birthday. And I said, hey, let's have a birthday get together over here at our hangout. We got some food and we had, this time I would have to say we had something to drink. It wasn't anything heavy. We weren't, like I said, we weren't smoking, doing any drugs. No, that's not the type of crowd we were. But we did have a little bit to drink that night because we all were, well, I didn't drink anything because I was scared my mom and dad would smell it on my breath, okay? But, they had a little bit of something to drink. They were real respectable. I might have had a little sip of something, but no, it wasn't anything major. No, nothing where I was loud, belligerent, or, yes, okay, I admit I was young. But that's beside the point. And no, this person did not condone underage drinking. So, yeah, they probably going to find out some stuff when they see this. But at the same time, we weren't. Anyway, I'm not going to keep highlighting that. But anyway, I tried to invite him. I said, why don't you come over? Everybody's going to be over. You can chill with us or whatever. Let them get to know who you are. Because by this time, my friends already are not too keen on him because he has not came around. He said, nah, I'm with my cousin. I'm hanging. I'm good. You better act right. Okay, I am. I keep getting phone calls. And they're all from him. We're watching a movie. I guess you can call us a lame bunch. We kind of were, but we were having fun. We're watching a movie and I get a phone call from him. I'm outside. I said, then why don't you come on in? Nah, I need to see you. I need to talk to you. I go outside and I'm talking to him for a second. He's in the car with his cousin. I wasn't too keen on him anyway. I still don't know if that was his real cousin. And I told him, I said, you've been drinking. Why don't you get out of the car and come downstairs? I'll make sure you get home safely. Y'all been drinking and everything, and you ready to vent. I'm the host of this party or of our little get together. Nah, he don't want to do that. Okay. He keeps on telling me, you better act right, you better do this, you better do that. Okay. Go back in the house. By this time, movie's gone off. We're watching, well, no, not watching, but we're listening to the radio. You know, we're dancing like we had a high school dance. We corny. I'm telling you, my friends. Yeah. He calls me. I didn't answer the phone. He comes up to the door and I'm sitting on the floor. Why? I don't know. He comes to the door and he comes in and he pulls me by my hair. I never had this. This is the first time he hit me. He grabs me by my hair. I get up. Grabs me by the back of my neck. And my friends are looking like, what's going on? And he said, didn't I tell you, you better be acting right? I said, what are you talking about? You know, and why are you grabbing me? What's going on? So by this time, we're kind of trying to get away from him. He slammed my head into the wall. He slammed my head into the wall so hard. My glasses hit the floor. I had on my baby fats. My glasses hit the floor and my earring fell out of my ear. My friend looked, the birthday girl, she looked and she told my cousin who was there. She said, I think he just hit her. My cousin jumped over the couch. And while we're trying to walk upstairs, he's using me. My ex-boyfriend is using me as a shield. My cousin was not a big man. He's not big, but now he's leaving the Navy. But he kept telling him, you don't put your hand on a woman, let alone my cousin. We went outside, and like I say, this whole time, he's using me as a shield. So everybody's waiting for him to pull back up. You know, we go outside, he get in the car, he drives off, whoop de whoop. Everybody's like, you shouldn't let him put his hands on you. This is not the first time he put his hands on you. I said, yes, it is. No, it's not. This is not the first time, you know. And I'm like, yes, it is. This is the first time. I'm not going to let him do this anymore, blah, blah, blah. They stayed with me for a while. And they said, you better not let him back in this house. You better not let him come back around. Don't worry, I got you. This is not going to happen. So the guys left. And one of my friends stayed with me. Well, my ex-friend or whatever. She stayed with me the whole night. And she's like, I'm spending the night. That girl was gangsta at the time. And she said, he doesn't deserve you if he hurt you like that. He called me and said, I'm outside. I waited till she, you know, kind of went to the bathroom, and I went outside to him. And his cousin was there. It was like, yeah, I heard that they was, or that your friends was about to mess with my boy. No, we ain't with that. I said, well, your boy put his hands on me. My ex-boyfriend told me to be quiet. I didn't be quiet. He hit me in the face and told me to be quiet. So what did I do? I was quiet. They finally left after he fussed with me, argued with me. I went back in the house and my friend was looking at me. All she could say was, you need to leave him alone. You need to get you some ice, put it on your face, and leave him alone. From then on, our relationship progressed, and he was in a car accident. In that car accident, he was rushed to the hospital. I went to go see him the next day. Keep in mind, he has on a neck brace and a hospital gown. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, I don't know if that's him. I'm looking from the hallway. He's in the room. I'm like, I don't know if that's him. He said, who the F do you think it is? My friend told me at the time, she said, why are we even here to see this fool? She said, if you want me to, I'll send him on down to the morgue. I'm like, no, it ain't worth it. You know? And throughout that relationship, all he did was tell me about his troubled past and things that he went through. And that was the day, or that was the time that I learned you can't fix anybody. You can't. You can pray for them. You can fix yourself. But you can't fix anybody else. And after that, I was in another abusive relationship. I don't want to go into all the detail with that one, but he used to talk to me, the second guy, he used to talk to me like I was beneath him. He would always tell me, oh, you know, you're not my girlfriend, you know. But at the same time, when other guys want to talk to me, he would shut it down. Me being young, I thought, I like this, you know. So I had jealous over me. When all the while it's like, no, fool, let it go. Let them go. He don't want to claim you. So just go. Just leave. And he used to say more things than he used to do. You know, he would threaten to push me down the stairs. If we would play fight or play tussle, he would literally forget that I'm a woman and hit me like a man. I remember one time I got in my car, and my arms were red and bruised, and you could literally feel swelling in my arms. And I knew that it was time to leave him alone. Third guy I got with, he was more verbally abusive, but I started fighting back. And then it took for me to literally say to myself, why are you fighting in relationships? Why? It's not worth it. Why are you fighting in relationships? It was to the point I didn't want to run and tell my mom and my dad. I didn't tell my mom until after I was an adult, a full adult. And my mom was like, didn't you tell me? Because, excuse my language, but I'd have kicked his ass myself. And he'd have never made it in this house. But I didn't say anything because my confidence was so low. The only thing I knew was that I'm not a bitch. That's all I knew. Because once I hear that word, no, I go crazy. And I say this because the last one that verbally abused me was my ex-fiance. He was horrible. He would talk to females right in front of my face on the phone. But let me say hi to somebody. Oh, he's ready. Who is that? You know who that is? I'm like, this is just a man walking down the street. But I say that and tell you my story to say this. There is a happy ending. I'm now with a man who is wonderful. I love that man with all of my heart. He is my prayer partner, my best friend, and my manager. And I am so happy to be with him. Not once has he ever put his hands up to me to hurt me. Not once has he said anything to verbally abuse me. We may argue, we may fight. Well, when I say fight, I'm not talking about fist fight. But we may have disagreements. So maybe fight is not the right word. We may have disagreements, but at the same time, I know that he's here to protect me. And that's one reason why I wrote the song Battle Scars. Because my friends would also criticize me when I was in these relationships. Instead of trying to help me get out of the relationships, they may not know it, but they would criticize me so much. When someone is going through domestic violence, don't criticize them. Even if they say they're okay, they're not okay. But you criticizing them is not going to make it any better. If anything, it's going to make them want to stay in the position with that person. So I will be telling more stories about myself. You'll see more on my YouTube. But I just want you to take this lesson for today. This is more for the friends or the family. Don't criticize that person, but don't leave that person's side either. Things may go on that you don't like, but don't leave their side. Because the worst thing to know is to know you've lost the help of people that are there for you. Don't leave them. If you can't help them, get somebody to be able to talk to them and help them. And to the people that's going through domestic violence, get out of that relationship. You may not end up as lucky as I was to get out of it and to have enough common sense to say deuces. Especially if you have children, don't let your children be the reason you stay with this person. Because think about it, do you want your son to grow up thinking it's okay to hurt another woman? And think that that woman will be strong because my mother was strong enough to take it? Or do you want your son to think it's okay to get hit by their partner? Do you want your daughter to think that being physically abused builds your strength? It doesn't. If anything, it builds a wall up. And when the right person comes in your life, you don't want them to build one up against you. You want them to help you remove the layers. I've been with my husband for about 13 years now, but we've been married for 10, going on 11. There's been plenty of times that I thought he would leave, or plenty of times that I thought that he would hurt me. But he promised not only my father, but he promised me that he would never hurt me and he would use his hands to caress me. I still have PTSD thinking about situations that goes on or that went on. Sometimes I think, why didn't I tell my mom? Why didn't I tell my dad? But instead of saying, why didn't I? I'm now saying I am. Meaning I am going to keep on living. I am going to keep on going on. I am going to continue to be the RnBEmpress, honey. I am going to continue to live my dream. I am going to continue to love my husband. My husband and I have been together, like I said, married 10 years. And just in the past 2 years, I've learned what it means to be submissive. I learned what it means to submit to your husband. Not let your husband walk over you. But I learned what it means for him to be the king and I be the queen, or he be the emperor and I be the empress. I've learned what that meant. I've prayed about it, and I thank God for him every day. So remember, the main thing, I want you to get up and get out. Love yourself. And for the friends and the family, don't criticize. Don't criticize. Don't leave their side. Because obviously they need someone there that loves them. Be patient. Please be patient. Because the ultimate love is knowing that someone is by their side and right there with them. I love y'all. Stay blessed.